Hi everyone, I'm Antipodish. Happy New Year in 2026. Today I would like to talk with you about UI changes and some other changes which I did since November. This video is already overdue when it's supposed to be in January, now we have February, but it's better late than never, right? So first thing first, what you might notice is, sure, some buildings in the background. I'm standing on the hill and yeah, I can jump. But also, probably you can hear some sounds. Probably birds, maybe some noise, that probably is wind, and some steps. So yes, indeed, I did add some audio. Very basic for now, no music. Additionally, you can zoom out and you can hear like louder wind. So you can hear louder wind up to the higher altitude. Other things which I already have changed, so this is the panel, this new panel of the UI, which is still in development. It actually looks smaller than the previous one, but there is reason for that. One of the reasons is that actually this what we see on the front of us is the lobby. It will be new lobby. It will be completely redesigned or is in the process of being redesigned. Now is the lobby also part of the game in sense, before it's loading actually full map. So at the moment the start in the lobby will be about it in this place. So this are the UI interactions. When I click on this one, it opens the lobby, you can load the game or go into the word editor or go to options. Something also I can do with escape button. Closing is the right click, or closing is by clicking on the side. We got some tutorial as well. I can close just by right click anywhere. If I press the return, I go back to options, to main menu. There is where its new live journey starts, and you can click begin and hop on into your life. There's an info that will be coming up and some other links. A little teddy done by my girlfriend. So hi to Teddy. You can see the highlight of the objects and the text info, so this is also new stuff. This part of the lobby, this lobby will change, will evolve, probably will be different completely once more objects will come, maybe some tutorials will be added, and interaction will be added with objects. So as I'm approaching to autonomy, I'm starting adding with the Lua and JSON all those components. So in November I did discuss in the video about, and I did showcase the Lua structure, the way how to change the icons and the layout, that using the UI is using the prefabs component and they can be added. Obviously layout and the design is not the final. I would like to look for at some point for some artist and UI designer which will propose different visuals for this. This is placeholder still, even though completed design, the UI had to be redesigned actually almost from ground up, with some changes which did stay from the previous UI. Actually was, while it was rewrite, it was actually improvement rather than actually writing from scratch. So the previous step was very important to actually make it more moddable. It was harder to skip. One side is that this is probably my third rewrite of the UI, and like major change. Like the first one was probably making actually working split screen functionality. Second one was the improvement of UI because the previous didn't, or the first one wasn't. One of the first one wasn't actually suitable, and then this one, which is actually improving moddability. So there is that. One of the things being added or improved is UI scale, right? So many games ask, oh, can you scale the UI, or why there's no UI scaling? So here it is. This was actually early in the game. Maybe wasn't as much exposed. Controls. At the moment you cannot change the controls, but they will show display accordingly to the player controls or the keyboard and mouse controls. So you can play with the gamepad. At the moment I'm playing with keyboard and mouse. But at the moment this cannot be changed. This is something to be done in the future. Some settings, game settings, and those others, yeah. In terms of world editor, new components been added, but hasn't changed much in terms of the mechanics. And this lobby actually is designed with the world editor, and it can be redesigned with the world editor and a little of modding in terms of which panel this works. So there is that. So I can easily change. I don't need like completely remodel or use the, for example, Blender to remodel the whole thing. Sure, previous lobby maybe looked nicer, but I knew it's going to be changed because I wanted to have actually something like in-game system, so to be able to interact without like artificial objects. So we have as well balconies here. Yeah, and we see mountains and undiscovered terrain. So that's where is the yellow line, actually the circle. Which expands as you discover more terrain. So there is that. There's also been added water, or change the water, how it works. Actually improved, well, water been added since and improved since December, as somebody on the Discord did notice. Oh yeah, there is water. Yeah, so it is. Technically this is an area where NPCs or autonomous characters cannot walk, but they and players still can walk and actually will walk under the water level, so it can walk on the bedrock of the water bed. And in terms what else changed is when the roads are, when the NPCs are walking above the road, so around the road, they will prioritize the road over there, just walking down if they got road around nearby. Other things are like UI menu. So the loading first time that looks a bit crappy. Oh yeah, but that's improved. And close and open again because it's first time loaded. Now they're just updating. I still want to improve that, but it's not a priority and maybe it will be done much later. But at the moment, yeah. So those are loaded maps which can be loaded and the game can start. And as you see, the screenshots of the map. First one indicates the last screenshot the player did or have seen, and all the screenshots are like 7-degree rotation around the map. You can move with the drag and scroll, with the dragging. You can move the scroll up and down, just like on mobile, or you can drag it. It's something I need to improve because you can see to load it and you need to hold it and then see that circle. I'm not gonna load it because it's gonna take a moment to load those maps, and some maps they will be deleted because they're just placeholders. But you see how that works. So yeah, those screenshots, those circle screenshots are made automatic. There is that. Same applies to the objects, interactive objects, or construction sites. So like you can save the construct and then load the constructs, and they will rotate. So they will be screenshotted from 8 degrees, from 8 angles. Naturally, you can just click and walk. So the character will just walk, and the camera movement is limited. Is limited to the range. Yeah, I think this covers some bug. Let's see. Yeah. So let's middle click if that's gonna work. Yeah. So there's various bugs which I need solve before I can upload to Steam, right? So it will be more enjoyable actually without player stuck. So as UI has changed significantly, the lobby is still to be improved. Ignore the floating. They have both TV and the tables have invisible legs. So this is because the auto optimization of the models allow this level of details. But yeah, I did mention that the camera is constrained, but the zone is discovered. Even you got shade already, you see the shade, so this is area which will be visible actively. You can still move the camera because already discovered, but when I rotate it will dim it automatically beyond. Will not allow you to move the camera outside that zone unless you are in debug mode, and you cannot change that in the lobby, but in the editor you can change into the editor or to the debug mode, and you can fly camera along the whole map. So see, I walk for example to this point, and the character will prioritize the road and now go sideways, right? So the roads are now priorities. And in terms of building, there hasn't been changing much. There's still certain bugs still there which been there. I did improve many things since. Some guys you posted various of bugs. I have improved some of them, but there's many still to be improved. So in the meantime, I will try to address them, as I will be approaching autonomy, working with autonomy now with the improvement to UI, and I will be needed to start adding stuff which I need for the autonomy and for the characters interactions. So like, go to bed or find the food, etc. And yeah, so there is that. So there will be like a bit more mix of work, and as new layers getting added, more works, or the work increases exponentially, because now you're not only looking for, oh let's do autonomy, but you need to synchronize with the movement, with the character behavior, with the modding, and with the components for the UI. So you want to hover over the character, you want to have name for the character which you already know, or maybe you want to, you need to see your own character needs, right, and those things like that. So for now, as you know, solo programmer and with help of my girlfriend, still having those objects made, and having other life priorities, well, it takes a while. The games, it takes a while to make, especially life simulators. They combine all components of most games altogether. And if like starting adding those things like building and building in different on all possible angles, all that, that's another complexity of layers, which I know it is pain at the moment for myself, and it is still buggy in some aspects. If there would be just grid, simple grid, it would be much easier. But choose that. Anyway, I think that's it for now, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, my rambling a bit. And next one video I'm hoping to have with my girlfriend on the split screen. It should be final video before I'm going to start on autonomy. So until then, I got bits to polish and fix and get the demo ready, or a pre-alpha update ready for you to play. Although there won't be any new mechanics, so it will be very similar to the previous one. Might be boring in that sense, but one step at a time. So see ya, bye.